Christmas time is here. Everybody knows there's not a better time of year. Hear that sleigh, Santa's on his way. Hip hip parade for Christmas vacation. Got a ton of stuff to celebrate.
Hey guys, Chuck Timbrook here, House of Blackout. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate to have you back. It's an honor. I got a special show today for you. First thing is God bless our veterans, and I want to welcome each and every one of you back into the House of Blackout for our show. I appreciate your support. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. It really means a lot to the show. Don't forget your Christmas cards. We got another one. I want to thank the American Hero Motorcycle Association. They sent me a Christmas card, and they made a donation in the card to the Blackout Nonprofit Fund, which is awesome. I thank you guys. God bless each and every one of you. Bubba and Mary Beth and the whole family, and all the motorcycle riders in the American Heroes. You guys rock. Thank you. Don't forget, you go to YouTube, type in Blackout Veterans Tribute. You'll see the House of Blackout episodes. I think we're up to like 13 or something like that now. Guys, don't forget to also visit www.blackoutinc.org. There's plenty of videos on there, plenty of pictures, and it also takes you to all the videos on YouTube, to Relay page. So please visit that page also. Also, there is a donation for the Blackout Veterans Tribute truck and the House of Blackout to keep these shows going. If you wish to donate, you can do two different ways. You can go to that site, or you can mail it directly to House of Blackout or Blackout Veterans Tribute, 49 Powell Lane, Powell Lane, Martinsburg, West Virginia, 25404. Also, you can see me on Facebook. Facebook is under Chuck Timbrook. Go to that public page, and you can enjoy the photos and what the truck, what we're doing with the truck. We have a lot of things going on today, and I am honored to have Blue Havoc in the House of Blackout. The truck is gorgeous. I can't wait to introduce the owner, and I can't wait for you guys to get a shot of this gorgeous, gorgeous memorial for our firefighters, police. It's just, it is unreal. The K9, and it's a story. It's a story on the windows of the truck that gives you the names of our fallen, and it is just a beautiful piece. Mr. Brian Renner is here with us today in the show. It is awesome. We'll be bringing him right in. Basically, if you want to look up Blue Havoc, you'll be able to pick him up on Facebook under Brian Renner. Of course, the YouTube video will be out also within the next couple days, and you can also find other ways to see this gorgeous piece as he moves on with different events. At this time, I would like to bring in Mr. Brian Renner. Come on in here, Brian. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yep. Thank you for coming in and scoot that chair up here, bro. Brian, like a lot of tributes, people put a lot of time, in their tributes, and you know, and not only me, but everybody out there wants to know more about Blue Havoc. You know, we want to know the why and the when and where, and basically what was in your heart to start this project. And I think you did an awesome job on it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it just all kind of started when I originally built the truck. I built it for show competition purposes, and I just kind of got tired of doing that and everything. And then I'd met you at a couple shows and stuff, and I wanted to do something different with it and have some meaning behind it. So I fought around with a lot of different things. I thought about doing stuff, you know, for maybe different diseases for kids, just, you know, a bunch of different stuff. And, you know, one morning I was driving over the road at the time, and I woke up one morning and they were showing the cell phone footages from the Las Vegas shooting the night before. And I was laying there watching that because I just woke up, and I'm just watching the police out there with their guns drawn, everybody on the ground trying to crawl and get away from the shooting. And there's the police standing there, you know, wide open and trying to figure out where the shooter is. And that's when everything clicked. I was like, you know, that's what I need to do. You know, I was like, our police doesn't get, you know, our respect that they deserve.
Exactly.
And so that's what started it. And then I just kind of went back and forth and started, you know, how much detail do I want to get into. And then it started to click on me, well, you know what, let's just take it one step further and not just do the police, let's do all first responders. So that's what I come up with the idea, doing the fire, EMS and stuff, and the police. And, you know, I come up with a couple ideas and just, you know, gave it to them to finalize all the design and stuff on the truck. And they did a fabulous job on it. And, you know, I just, you know, told them this is what it has to have, and at this point, you know, you pretty much got free reign. I just got to sign off on it. And we went through a couple different renderings and, you know, stuff like that, but, you know, we come down with this where it would still show my blue through the clear vinyl. And at first I was a little leery of it, you know, but at the same point, now that it's done, when it comes to photos and stuff like that, unless it's sitting out in the sun, it is hard to see. But at the same point, that's what I like about it, because it's different. It's not what everybody else has done, loud, bright, like I originally wanted. And so I'm really happy with how it turned out. I mean, I really am, you know, and I'm loving what I'm doing. You know, it really just, when you're at an event and, you know, someone, like when we were at Dover last year, that lady come up and asked me if I was the owner of the truck, and when she did, and when I told her yes, she just broke down in tears. You know, she had tears in my eyes, and to this day, I still don't know why, but that's what makes it all worthwhile.
And the thing of it is, the thing is just, it's gorgeous. I mean, and also it's the stealth. It's got a stealth look about it, because it makes you, guys, you're not going to see this truck, you're not going to see the artwork on this truck by standing 20 feet away from it. You got to get up on this truck to see the artwork, and once you see the artwork that's in this paint, it is absolutely gorgeous, and very honorable, respectful. It's got the police, the fire, the canines, everything in the artwork on the truck. It's got a lot of extras, even under the hood, a lot of artwork, and graceful, very graceful. And I am honored to have this man You know, whenever we do events, I'm honored to have him there. You know, just like anybody that builds the memorials, like, you know, Tim Wright. I mean, you know Tim. I mean, we're tickled to death when Tim is with us at events. You know, because you know, there's a lot of respect and honor with Tim Wright, and you know, also with Agent Orange. You know, his time that he's gotten his, and you know, many others, and I really, when I look at this truck, you just can't see enough of it because you always find something new.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you know, you don't see it from far away. And good examples, like when we were doing the boardwalk cruise down there at Ocean City here 2 months ago, you know, as I would come by the people, you know, I was leading you down the boardwalk, and, you know, people are looking at you because they're seeing you coming, but if I come in front of them, and then they're seeing down the side of it, the, you know, how, like you were saying, how subtle it is, and everybody's like, oh, wow, really, look at that, you know, and...
I remember them pictures.
Yeah, and that's what, you know, that's the part that, like I said, it's not loud, it's not bright, you know, and that's, at one point, is different from what I wanted, but that's the part I love about it at the same point, that it is different, and it does give it, in my eyes, I feel with it being harder to see and more subtle like that, it's more of a tribute than being loud and bright.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'll tell you what, the Ocean City photos that I've seen after we got done that ride was amazing.
Yeah, they were. I was floored.
I was so impressed with the way all the artwork was popping out on this vehicle where you normally could not see it. These photographs just brought out every bit of the artwork, and people were like flipping out. And which they should, you know, because our police and fire, they need the support. And you know, canine dogs. I mean, a lot of people don't understand how many we lose. You know, all the killings and stuff of our police and the dying of our firefighters, and you know, they deserve the respect and the honor too. And when you get the chance to look at this truck, pay attention to the windows, because he'll explain it to you, but the windows, the back windows behind the driver's door and the passenger door, it has names on it, and it is just, it's a gorgeous, very gorgeous piece, and I think you did a hell of a job with it, Brian.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome. I love seeing tribute trucks. A while back, when I first started Blackout, I had a fifth wheel cover that, if you go back to the older photos, you'll see it. And in the years to go through, now I notice that Snyder and Volvo have built a similar memorial to cover their fifth wheel.
Correct, I've seen them.
And it's just so amazing that how you can start something and then see it grow. You know, and everybody says, oh, that's little. Well, you know, it's not little to me. Because when you build something and then you see other people coming aboard and start adding to that respect and honor, the one I seen on the Volvo was an eagle grasping an American flag, and in the box, the dimensions of the box was identical to the one that was on Blackout when it first started. And it just sends cold chills down your spine to think, you know, hey, you know, you did something that people's respecting, and now they're building it. And I think that's the way it should be. People should copy off of Blue Havoc and build a pickup for support. You know, what do you support? Military, police, fire, canines? I think we ought to have 100 more people build these support trucks, because it all comes down to one thing. The more these trucks are built, the more people is going to honor and respect the builders.
Right.
And basically, Brian, I am amazed, especially with all the fine details. But all right, guys. Well, listen. we're going to come back. We're going to turn this back over to Brian. We're going to do the walk around with the truck, and he's going to show off this awesome, awesome blue Havoc. And the spelling on this blue Havoc is B-L-U-V-O-C. That is how you spell blue Havoc. He made the spelling different because he wanted it to be different, and it's definitely honor and respect. All right, guys, don't go nowhere. Come back. We'll let Brian finally show you what I've been sitting here staring at the whole time. God bless you. We'll be right back. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome back. House of Blackout, Part 2. Here with Mr. Brian Renner and a blue Havoc. What a gorgeous piece.
Thank you.
It's, man, you got a lot of heart in this thing. A lot of heart.
Yeah, it's went through some changes and stuff through the design and all that, but she's done a fantastic job, as you can see back here on the back corner. You got the paramedics with the person on the stretcher and everything. Then it fades into the ambulance here. And I really love how she just did this on the clear where my blue would still come through. And it, like I said, the clear kind of gives it a ghost effect where it's more of a tribute in my eyes than anything else. And then she come up and did, for space-wise, she did combine the two badges there and did like a hybrid type thing. And she was trying to stick with like more local departments and pictures and stuff, but as you blow things up, of course, things get distorted. And here, from the doors up here, is like the pictures of, this is actually Arlington, Virginia Fire Department here. And you know, it even says it right there on their helmet there. Like I said, it gives it that ghost effect. And that's just what I really like. Then it comes up and got your ghost stars and stuff up here on the front. It's a little hard to see, but like I said, that's what makes it different from everybody else's. And then, of course, I had to have the little American flags put in. And then back here on this window right here on the side, we got for all the fallen firefighters and stuff for 2018. We did the list with their names and everything as a memorial for them. And as this winter goes on, we will update it for the 2019. And I've got something in the works for something special to debut on that in 2020 there. And we
That is awesome work.
Oh, thank you. She did a fabulous job. She really did.
Hey, I got a special guest for you. Yeah, just walked in the door. Come on up here, Mr. Dominic Brown.
Hey, how you doing, Chuck?
Good, brother. Good to have you back, man.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Thank you, man. Come on in here. This is Brian Renner.
Nice to meet you, man. How's it going?
Pretty good, sir. Pretty good.
This is a special surprise.
Yes, it is.
Awesome to have you back with us. Brian's here with the Blue Havoc, and he's going around and giving us a little lesson on about the truck. And I think you walked in at the perfect time.
All right, yeah.
You know, guys here at the House of Blackout, anybody that's on the show, they can come back at any time and join in with us. And this was actually a special surprise that Dominic Brown come down with us while Brian was showing his truck. Because this is the first time that Brian has met Mr. Brown.
It sure is.
It is.
So that's awesome. But you can see this, guys. This is one, excuse my language, badass pickup truck. I tell you what, it's amazing. Brian, the work and the you know, up underneath of it. I mean, it looks, you know, just brand spanking new. How many miles you got on this?
Just a little over 60,000.
60,000 miles on this, guys.
This was my everyday driver for years, even when I was showing it in competition.
This, the underneath of this truck is to the point where you can probably eat off of it. I mean, it's just, it stands out. It's just unreal. I'm sorry, Brian, I'm lusting over your truck. You go ahead and tell us a little bit more about the opposite side of your truck here.
Yeah, now we got to the driver's side here. The passenger side, as you've seen, was for firefighters, EMS, and the driver's side here is for our law enforcement, the police, the K-9. You know, it kind of goes for all law enforcement, not just like one department or one division. And you know, me being a dog lover, we got those dogs here on the side, 4 of them all together actually, and got one up here, right here on the door, like he's running towards you, and got a actually that's Lancaster, Pennsylvania police horse that's faded into there. And then we got back here, we got another silhouette of another canine here, like in his memory. And then we got one here dressed out full in his I can't think, bulletproof vest and all his gear. And then she developed a nice canine badge down here for the canines. And then as like we do on the other side, on the back or side window here, we got the 2018 Fallen Police. We got the whole list there. It comes down, and then as it starts here is our fallen canine. As we cannot forget our canine. They put their lives on the line just like the rest of them. And then of course we did the American flag on the back window back there. That way you can always, you know, support the American flag even when you're not actually got a real flag up. And then on the back was one of the pieces that I did tell her that I had to have, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it in this, but across the top it says one family, one mission, everyone goes home. It says that across the top here, and then it's got all their badges down here. And so we just all brought it together on the back as the end of the tribute pretty much.
That's pretty awesome. It's a beautiful truck. I love the tribute for our, our police and our service dogs. It's definitely awesome for our EMTs, our fire department, first responders. Man, you really did a great job with this truck, and I love the tribute. It's just no one is actually forgotten. And these are our guys that's on the front line here in the States, and they go through as much stuff as combat veterans do. Because they're living it every single day. You get a fire department guy that's running into a blaze every single time. For me, I did 3 tours, so gaps, but these guys live 365. Right. Some people do this for 30, 40 years. So I can just imagine the memories they have, good and bad. And this is just a wonderful tribute, what you've done with your entire truck and everything. Definitely thank you.
I greatly appreciate it. And like I was saying before you arrived there earlier, what caused this, because I didn't know what to do. I wanted to do something different. And what caused this was the Vegas shooting. Watching the videos the next morning, watching the police out there trying to figure out where the shooter was, and that's when it hit me that this is what I need to do. First it was the police, but then I thought about it and I'm like, well, let's take it one step further and just do it more broad as our first responders, because I do have family that's in fire department, and I got quite a few friends that are state police, and so it just kind of went from there, and this is what it's developed into.
That's so awesome.
Yes, it is. Well, Brian, let's walk up. Now, guys, this portion of the show right here, he is going to turn his lights on. There is bright flashing, so anybody that would be affected by the flashing, and he also has a siren on it.
Yeah, I don't do the siren.
You don't want to do the siren?
No, it'll be loud.
Okay.
I think
siren might be a little bit too loud for inside the building here, but just keep in mind that we're getting ready to hit the lights, and for anybody that might be affected by this, please don't watch this next section, because the lights are pretty bright and powerful. So let's go towards the front here, and we'll let Mr. Brian demonstrate. Hey guys, welcome back to House Blackout. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed the walk around. You've seen the lights on this gorgeous memorial, and I hope you enjoyed the detail that Brian pointed out on his first responders pickup truck. And guys, this is a 2011
That's correct.
with 60,300
60,300 and something miles.
60,300 some miles. 2011, guys. Like I said before, you can look up underneath this truck and it is just absolutely clean. But as we move on here, Brian, what's your favorite? I mean, I know it's hard to pull out, but what's your favorite part of the truck? I mean, your most favorite part. I know the whole truck is, but what's your most standout?
It kind of depends. My absolute favorite part of the truck, I would have to say, is the driver's side back corner, back by the end where the K9 badge is.
Yes.
That is, I would have to say, my favorite part. But when it comes to, like pictures and video and stuff of the truck, I'd have to say the whole passenger side, because it's not as dark background, so it comes out a lot nicer, and it's got the blue that pops through, as you've seen in the video or the pictures. But I like the driver's side, but this side is my favorite as far as pictures and stuff, just because it is more, where it pops through like that, and I really enjoy that. But being a dog lover, that K9 badge is my favorite part.
That's awesome. I mean, I can't find my favorite spot on the truck. I mean, the whole truck. I mean, I guess the most honorable and respectful part of the truck, well, it's the whole truck, but to me would be the names on the window for me, that I would be able to sit there and read the names, or fallen heroes, and I think that's what stands out more in my head. As looking at the truck, the truck is just absolutely a memorial all the way around. But I would say, to me, the names would be the names that you put on there would actually be my most respected part.
Oh, thank you. That's something we did there last winter. We come up with and was trying to show, our support and memory of, our past fallen soldiers, or not soldiers, but our first responders. And that's something I plan to continue, and we'll update this year here during the winter. We'll go back and redo for the 2019 year of our fallen first responders, fire, EMS, and police, K9s, of course. So we'll update that this winter. And like I said earlier in the video, that I've got something up my sleeve that I'm hoping to do a little memorial for, and we'll see that in the spring, I guess.
Guys, Brian's like me. This truck for shutdown will be, taken apart, and he'll go over this thing, and he'll make sure before next season that anything. We don't mess with used parts. I know everybody's saying, well, you're all the time needing help with funding, but here's the thing, guys. I don't mess with used parts on mine, and he don't mess with used parts on his. When we go to do this, it is an honor and respect that we use brand new stuff to go back on this truck, because it lasts longer. And then, to me, if you're going to respect something, you got to be, it's got to be 100% new parts. And I know that's, why the expense that we have, Brian has on his and I have on mine, it's not cheap, but in our heart, it's worth every dime that we spend on it. But at this time, I would like to take a moment of silence for the police and the fire and the canines that this truck represents. And I also see that you fly a POW flag sometimes on this truck. I've seen this truck, and you've had a POW flag on it. So guys, this truck, it all plays into the same family of respect and honor. This truck is first responders, police, fire, and canine, but it also is a respect from the owner of this truck, respect to our men and women you know, that died overseas. And
Oh yeah, most definitely. You know, and that's was part of, you know, what I had to think about when I did do this, because like I said, all this first come about, you know, me and you weren't quote friends really. You know, we had met and talked and stuff. But, you know, at the same point, I wanted to do something, and a lot of people had brought up about doing for our military, just because, as you'd seen in the video, the heavy-duty bumpers and, you know, all that people were saying about it, you know, could kind of remind you of a military vehicle. But, you know, at the same point, and it was no disrespect to you or the military, you know, I didn't want to do the same thing. You know, you had our military covered, our veterans covered, and I wanted to expand on it and do something to, you know, bring respect and tribute to more of our people, our heroes that people don't think of. And first responders is one of them that people don't really consider our heroes. They just don't realize what they do. They don't think about the firefighters that are running into the burning buildings, and for people they don't even know. There are the EMS and firefighters and police that are at accident scenes out there along the road, you know. They get hit a lot. I mean, it's a shame to say that, but it's true. You know, I mean, our police ain't the only ones that put their lives on the line. Here's our first responders, or, you know, our fire EMS, they all do it. Even tow truck drivers, I mean, they do it too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have a lot of fire departments that you know, that firmly supports and believes in what I do. With mine, it represents, you know, military, but it also represents our first responders, just like your tribute. You know, it's just respect all the way around. And I am thankful for the firefighters. I am thankful for our men and women who, you know, that go out and, you know, to serve and protect. And, you know, our police and our firefighters, they need support too. You know, they don't have an easy job. And God bless the families of the fallen police officers and the firefighters and the canines. You know, God bless these people. They do a lot, and they don't deserve the disrespect that they're getting in today's time. And
Amen.
yeah, I'm not going to get into politics because I can't stand politics, but I will tell you this: I 100% stand behind our police, our fire, our canines, our military. I stand behind groups that support cancer, the Battlefield Bash that supports critically ill children, Toys for Tots, Marines. You know, what the Marine Corps does for the Toys for Tot is just unreal. And you know, I can't, you know, for somebody that's interested in building a truck, okay, what advice would you give them? You know, we have a lot of people out there that want to build a pickup truck. What advice would you give them on building, you know, a pickup?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I made so many mistakes when I started this thing, and you know, my biggest thing would just be to try to think it through before you even start. Yeah. Try to get an idea, and I mean that no matter what you do, you're going to change stuff. I mean, there's no way around it. But you know, because you know, like I said, this started as a show competition truck, and it took me years to build it to what it was. And even since I've done the tribute, you know, it's been a little bit here, a little bit there, you know, because none of this stuff is cheap. So, you know, if it's something you want to do and, you know, you don't have all the money for it right ahead, there's nothing wrong with that. Just do a little bit here, a little bit there. Everybody, you know, loves the support, you know. So, I mean, just like this morning when I was in Sheets, you know, Shippensburg police officer walked in, and I walked up to him and, you know, thanked him for what he did. I told him to appreciate everything that he does. And, you know, he was really surprised that I did that. And he was like, he couldn't be thank you enough for it. You know, and I understand that. But it's just, you know, it's the thought behind it. It's not so much, you know, what it looks like, what, you know, how much you spent. It's not about that. It's about the thoughts that's behind it and the support that you give. And that's why, you know, I do what I do, and that's why I quit showing for competition. You know, it's just like I said, I don't want nothing for what I did. You know, I just want the word to be out and people to realize what our first responders do. I mean, it's a shame that people just don't realize it. But that's what I'm trying to help spread the word about.
Well, I will tell you one thing that I did find out, guys. I'm tickled to death for you guys to build a tribute vehicle. Anybody, because the more we have out there, the more the message is getting out there. But I will urge you, before you name your vehicle, make sure you check the name out. I had to go through, a list and, go through the internet to find out who had what name, and I got lucky with Blackout. I did get Blackout, and then I got the Blackout Veterans Tribute Inc., which is mine, and then the House of Blackout, which is also, a name for honor and respect of our fallen heroes. So make sure you check your names out when you build your truck or whatever you build. Just make sure you check your name out so you don't interfere with somebody else that might have that name, because I know you don't want to copy anybody. All right, guys, at this time I'd like to do a moment of silence for all of our first responders, military, canines, everybody involved in public service or service to our country, and the families. I'd like to do a moment of silence at this time. This means, there's a lot of things about what we do that means so much, especially to you guys, because you guys are learning just like I'm learning. And, and there's a lot of graceful things, a lot of graceful time put into, the building of these vehicles, and we have more to come. I mean, there's more that's going to be coming in here. And we're going to try to bring anything and everything that we can to your attention, because I want you guys to see what I see. And God bless our veterans. But what does Blue Havoc? When Blue Havoc and Blackouts together, I mean, what's your feeling in your heart on having all these tribute trucks together? There's a bunch we could name, but let's, go with the, our relationship as far as what we do. How's your opinion and heart based on that matter?
I do this because I want to get the word out, and that's why, I do a lot of events when I can with you. You've got a good following, you've got a good name, you've done so much respect for our veterans, and it's an honor to do these events with you. And I'm just trying to, like I say, get the word out for our first responders, and just watching people. And I don't like to see people get upset, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when people do get upset looking at your truck or my truck, that's what makes it worthwhile.
Yes.
I mean, that makes all the BS that I personally went through trying to do this or get that done, that makes what makes everything worthwhile. I mean, it just blows my mind how something so inanimate, something that's not alive can affect somebody so much. I mean, until I started doing this, I didn't realize that. I lived in my own little world, and I just didn't know. So, I've been opened up to a whole new world here, and I hope to continue to keep doing events, and, for as long as I can, and, alongside of you.
I hope so too. I enjoyed having you with us. There's nothing greater than to look over and see this truck, parked like this with mine, and and I'd love to have 5, 6 more, just around that we get a lesson, and it's no competition here. There's no competition at all. When we go to parades, I mean, people ask me all the time, hey, how come you were first this time, but this time you were third, or this time you were fourth? I don't care where I'm at in the lineup. Yes, and there's a bunch of important parts about us doing events together, as a team. So I enjoy everybody that's showing their patriotism, their support. And Brian, I really appreciate you making the trip down here to be with us today. And I believe that a lot of people out there has learned, a little bit more about Brian Renner, his heart, how he feels in his heart, and it all explains itself in your truck.
It was an honor to be here. Thank you.
I mean, it was definitely an honor to have you. Guys, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Very important, because we're trying to, everybody knows my goal, everybody that's been watching knows my goal. For you guys that just tuned in or just started watching, my goal is 1,000 eyeballs, or 1 million eyeballs. I want 1 million eyeballs on these shows, so we can get more people involved in what we're trying to do, all of us. It's not just about Blackout, it's about everybody that's involved with this. And as a group, I think that we can hit 1 million eyeballs, and I think that would be awesome. Guys, don't forget, our end of the season's coming down, and I have some things I want to bring up here real quick. The end of the season's coming down, and I'm going to be needing a little bit of help with the nonprofit. Don't forget about Freightliner Parts Program. Don't forget about www.blackoutinc.org. Don't forget about your Christmas cards. Your Christmas cards is very important. I try to bring up the Christmas cards because it's important to me to know that you guys like what you're watching. And the address on that is House of Blackout, 49 Powell, Powell Lane, Martinsburg, West Virginia, 25404. And also, don't forget our donation line through the www.blackoutinc.org website. Also, my email address here at the House of Blackout and Blackout itself is ct1234567 @comcast.net. Guys, once again, I am so tickled and thrilled that you guys joined into this show. God bless each and every one of you and your families. I want to say goodbye to Mr. Brian Renner.
Thank you for having me.
It has been an honor to have you on our show. I'm pretty sure everybody out there loves your pickup truck. And I'll have to get you a taxi to go home, because I'm just going to keep your truck now.
You can have it. It's for sale.
He was joking about that. But guys, stay tuned. Join us for more episodes. Brian, is there any last things that you want to point out, or anything about something that's important?
No, I just want to thank you for having me here, and I appreciate everybody watching, and I just wanted to wish everybody, because that time of year, Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Major thing. Not Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas.
Amen.
And guys, God bless you. Thank you for watching. I'm so happy that you guys join in and watch these shows, and we got a lot more veterans and a lot more tributes coming up, and can't wait to get them out to you. Thank you very much from the House of Blackout and the Blackout Veterans Tribute. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian Renner and the Blue Havoc. Awesome show. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
It's that time. Christmas time is here.